It all started just before 2 o'clock on an October afternoon in 2017. Two Burlington police officers spotted a car playing loud music. The driver turned it down, but they decided to stop them anyway. That driver was 27-year-old Marquise Jones. Video shows Jones immediately running from officers with a bag in his hand. Officers Chris Chiprez ran after Jones, while Officer Joshua Riffle used the car to assist. Later, Officer Riffle, just 3 weeks into his service, managed to catch up to Jones and tackle him. We don't see that part because Riffle's body cam was not activated yet. And that's when Riffle yelled this.
Run! Run! Run!
Officer Riffle says Jones tried to point a gun at him during the struggle. That's when the officer separated from Jones, and Jones again ran away.
Drop it!
Around that time, Officer Chiprez fired 7 rounds at Jones. Chiprez again finds Jones, now on his back in a shadowy yard. Jones allegedly began sitting up and moving his hands up, leading Officer Chiprez to fire one last shot.
Come on, brother. Stay with us. Come on.
Officers called for an ambulance, but Jones would not survive.
You're running away, he yells, drop it, you drop it, and he fires at you anyway. That's what happened.
Dave O'Brien is representing Jones's family in a civil lawsuit. New footage after the shooting just released showed that Jones had dropped his gun along with a bag containing marijuana.
Dope, a scale. We're going to leave that just like it is.
Now, despite being unarmed, an investigation by the Iowa Attorney General's office determined that Officer Chiprez had no way of knowing that before firing the 8 shots. And Jones, according to an autopsy, was shot from the front.
That if you and I would do the same thing that Officer Chiprez did in this case, we'd be sitting in prison. You can't fire a gun at somebody who's running away from you and posing no threat to you.
That's because, according to the Attorney General's office, deadly force by law enforcement is justified if the officer believes the suspect could cause injury or loss of life to another. O'Brien says it's time to change who gets to decide when that force goes too far. Right now, that falls to the same agencies that rely on law enforcement to work with them.
But we've got to remove that. We've got to let independent prosecutors, retired judges, former prosecutors, people that don't depend on the next case this prosecutor has. He's got to depend on law enforcement officers to make it for him. And they're not going to be happy if he's just filed a murder charge against one of their colleagues. We got to remove that from the system, or this is not going to stop. This is going to continue to happen.